Welcome back. Now to news in detail. The General Overseer Worldwide of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor ADEBOYE, has urged Nigerians not to stop praying for the younger generation and the country. ADEBOYE spoke at the 13th convocation of the Redeemers University of Nigeria, Ede, Osun State. ADEBOYE, who was represented by the RCCG National Overseer, Pastor Joshua Obayomi, says with prayers God could turn around the situation of the country. He says to the parents, guardians, and the entire university community not to stop praying for the nation. Presenting his scorecard, the Vice Chancellor of the university, Professor Anthony Akinlo, says the institution had secured approval to commence 14 academic programs. This in his remarks after he was honored with the doctorate degree of letters. Ex-President Nigerian Bar Association Chief Wole Olanipekun commended ADEBOYE for the support given to the institution, especially the Faculty of Law. Now moving forward, the court finds EFCC 5 million naira for illegally declaring man wanted. Lagos Federal High Court sitting in Ikoyi has ordered the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to pay the sum of 5 million naira to a businessman, Dr. Kennedy Izuokbe, for illegally declaring him wanted. The court, presided over by the Justice Lewis Alago, also ordered the EFCC to publish an unreserved apology to the businessman on its website and social media. The court also awarded a cost of 5 million naira against the EFCC for breaching the businessman's fundamental rights. Justice Alago made the above orders against the EFCC while delivering judgment in a fundamental rights enforcement suit brought against the agency by Izuokbe. Izuokbe had dragged the EFCC before the court through his lawyers, Ms. Ifeoma Esom, where he sought a declaration that the respondent has no power or authority to declare him wanted without any order of a court of competent further jurisdiction, and in the absence of any facts providing reasonable suspicion that he had committed an offense to warrant such declaration. And now in another development, Reps consider bill establishing new security arm for tax collection. The House of Representatives has begun moves to establish a new security agency called the Elite Sheriff Corps. This is to facilitate tax collection in the country. The bill for an act to establish the Elite Sheriff Corps to facilitate tax collection by relevant authorities in the Federation to enhance budget implementation through internal revenue generation and for related matters was sponsored by Abdul Razak Namdas, representing Jida Gamye Mayobawa, Chingo Federal Constituency of Adamawa State. The move to set up the Corps has passed the second reading at the National Assembly, and a public hearing is being considered to get the input of stakeholders as part of the legislative process. The bill, read in part, enacted by the National Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, there is established for the Federation a body to be known as the Elite Sheriff Corps. The Corps shall establish offices in each geopolitical zone of the Federation. The Corps will have a board consisting of a chairman, a representative not below a director of the FIRS, the Joint Tax Board, Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, Accountant General of the Federation, 7 founding members of the defunct Elite Sheriff's Corps, and the Commandant General as a member and also a secretary. The bill further stipulated that the board members expect the ex-official members would be appointed by the President on the recommendation of the Minister. A news coming from around Africa. Gambia's President declares his bid for December election. The Gambia's President Adama Barrow declared his candidacy for the December 4th presidential poll, with campaigning in the hotly contested election set to begin next week. Thousands of supporters lined the streets in the capital Banjul as Barrow formally submitted his candidacy to the electoral body in the tiny West African nation. The December 4th election will be the first since the departure of former dictator Yahya Jammeh and is viewed as a key test of the country's democratic transition. Jammeh seized power in the Gambia in 1994 as part of a bloodless military coup. He was then repeatedly re-elected in disputed circumstances until he was defeated in December 2016 by Barrow. Barrow was a then relative that the people were not aware of. After a 6-week crisis, which led to the military intervention by other West African states, Jammeh was forced into exile in Equatorial Guinea. Human rights activist has accused him of committing a litany of crimes during his 22-year rule, from using death squads to raping a beauty queen and sponsoring witch hunts, amongst others. However, the former dictator has retained considerable support in the Gambia, raising questions about his continuing influence in the nation of 2 million people. Jammeh subsequently disavowed the decision, which he said was taken without his knowledge, and his supporters have formed a rival party. The news still coming from around Africa. South Africa's ANC party sees big decline in municipal election. The ANC party sees big decline in the votes. The party of the late anti-apartheid leader Nelson Mandela got less than 50% of ballot cast in local government elections. The African National Congress, the ANC, gained 46.04% of the vote. The Electoral Commission announced the worst result for Nelson Mandela's historic party, which has won every vote by an absolute majority since the first democratic elections in 1994. And not only did voters not support the ANC, most of them did not bother to vote. Although voting day was declared a public holiday, turnout was 47% of registered voters, more than 10% lower than in previous elections. And for the younger generation of voters, the ANC is synonymous with corruption and mismanagement. Years of mismanagement have left public services in disrepair in a country where daily life is plagued by power and water cuts. In July, the country experienced a wave of rioting and looting in Johannesburg and the eastern province of KwaZulu-Natal, which left more than 350 people dead. The violence was initially triggered by the imprisonment of Jacob Zuma, who was convicted of contempt of court, but it was also a sign of the tense social and economic climate. The polls were held without major incident. The army had been called in to reinforce the police for the elections. Right now we'll take a very short break. After we get back from that break, I'll come back with updates from Europe, as the World Health Organization warns Europe once again at epicenter of COVID pandemic. And we'll be right back.
What business are you planning to showcase to the world? That which will satisfy the need of humanity? Of course, with Celebration TV, it will get the desired reciprocation you long for. We are committed to giving your business and services that quality touch of class, and you will be happy you made the right choice by placing that investment of yours on the right platform. Without delay, you can call on this number for your advert placement, partnership, or sponsorship of our programs. Celebration Television, your best bet.
Welcome back, and our news update coming from Europe. Europe is once again at the epicenter of the COVID-19 pandemic. The World Health Organization has warned as cases soar across the continent. At a press conference, the World Health Organization Europe head Hans Kluge says the continent could see 500,000 more deaths by February. He blamed insufficient vaccine take-ups for the rise. The rate of vaccination has slowed across the continent in recent months, while some 80% of people in Spain are double jabbed. That number is low in France and Germany at 68% and also 66% respectively, and low still in some Central and Eastern European countries. Only 32% of Russians were fully vaccinated by October 2021. Mr. Kluge also blamed a relaxation of public health measures for rising infections in the European region, which covers 53 countries including parts of Central Asia. And so far, the World Health Organization has recorded 1.4 million deaths across the region. The World Health Organization technical team, Maria Khan, says over the past 4 weeks, cases across Europe had soared over 55% despite an ample supply of vaccines and tools. And also her colleague Dr. Mike Ryan says Europe's experience is a warning shot for the world. Now more news updates coming from Indonesia. Indonesia criticizes unfair deal to end deforestation. Indonesia has criticized the terms of a global deal to end deforestation by 2030, signaling that the country may not abide by it. The environment includes almost $19.2 billion of public and private funds. Ms. Nubaya argued that the country's vast natural resources must be used for the benefit of its people. She cited the need for the cut down of forests to make way for new roads. The massive development of President Jokowi's era must not stop in the name of carbon emissions or in the name of deforestation, she says, referring to Mr. Widodo by his nickname. Indonesia's natural wealth, including forests, must be managed for its use according to sustainable principles, besides being fair, she added. And now on business news. The federal government has ordered 10,000 tractors and others from Brazil to boost agriculture. The federal government is planning to buy 10,000 tractors from Brazil to boost agriculture in the country. The government also says it would establish model grazing reserves in selected states of the country next year. The latest development came months after Nigerians in some sections of the country had expressed opposition to similar ideas. Grazing reserves are always set aside for the use of pastoralists and are intended to be used to the focus of livestock development. The Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Muhammad Abubakar, while appearing before the House of Representatives, the Joint Committee on Agricultural Production and Services for the 2022 budget defense in Abuja, disclosed that the government would establish model grazing reserves in some states next year. He added that the ministry would also implement the Green Imperative project in collaboration with the Brazilian government that seeks to provide 1,000 units of tractors, 50,000 units of assorted implements and equipment to be assembled in the country. And right now we'll take a short break. When we get back from that break, I'll come back with news.
What business are you planning to showcase to the world? That which will satisfy of humanity? Of course, with Celebration TV, it will get the desired reciprocation you long for. We are committed to giving your business and services that quality touch of class, and you will be happy you made the right choice by placing that investment of yours on the right platform. Without delay, you can call on this number for your advert placement, partnership, or sponsorship of our programs. Celebration Television, your best bet. What business are you planning to showcase to the world? That which will satisfy the need of